Hello and welcome. Yes, we on episode 4 of the World's End Harem. Now, here's the thing. I should have mentioned this last week on episode 3, but let me just break it down. Let me say this. I think World's End Harem, being that what it is, as the rating as it is, I would have expected more from this. And I'm not saying that it's a bad show. I'm not really saying that it's a bad show. I'm just saying it's decent. Not like say I'm not saying like, oh, this is a good show. I'm just saying it's decent. You know, we saw the first episode of it, delayed it, okay. And then we move forward with this. But then you're looking back on it, you're thinking 11 episodes? 11 episodes. And after giving us everything that we expected from the World's End Harem, showing us the characters that we're going to see, and the antagonists, protagonists, and everybody's harems, it's safe to say that this is it's gonna be a rush show. It's gonna be a rush show. While many of us are reading the manga, like myself in the World's End Harem, this show is rushing to a point where it's just like, despite this show what it is, it's still rushed. I wish they would have slowed down the pace a bit to figure out more and more in this sci-fi harem that it is the World's End Harem. Even though we're not getting that yet, but it's depending on what the route is, it's getting there to that point. You get what I mean. So without further ado, let's get right to it with the World's End Harem review episode 4. So after number 3, Sota, him, I said last week about the bulliness that is going on with his life. And I hate anime characters who bully people. I hate that. I hate that. Again, I'm thinking Magical Girl Site because Magical Girl Site is the first thing that comes to my mind when it comes to bullying, because when I saw that, I was disgusted by it. But other than that, this week kind of a turning point for Sota. You see, Sota has now lived the life that he wanted. He's finally doing it with his teacher. He's finally doing it with his teacher, his sensei. If you think back on Sota right now, that was the only girl he woman. That's the only woman he wanted to smash. In fact, by the way, let's not front and say that's a good MILF he has. That is an excellent MILF. I mean, of all the people he has, the sensei is one. The sensei is one. Okay. Now, and I like how he just wakes up. But the thing about that scene, guys, is not only he's smashing the one that he loves so much. It's not the fact that he's smashing his sensei. It's just that you have to look at the scars that he has on his chest. All these bruises and scars that he has on his chest, you felt bad for him still. Now, even though Sota's happy that he got his sensei, but the fact is, it's the scars and bruises on his neck. I mean, scars and bruises all around his body. You would think that after waking up 5 years from the cryogenic state and during the MK virus attack, you wouldn't think that the women in the entire school, or even the scientists, can remove the scars from him. But those things are going to tarnish him throughout the life. So, Sota is now he's living the life of a harem. Living the life of a harem. I mean, he got the sensei, and he's already, he's going to class, swimming. He's going to swimming class, and he's just looking at all these gorgeous girls in their swimsuits, just practicing, even swimming class, and that's, he sees it. And then there's one girl, named blonde hair girl, Natsu. Everything's a plan here in this entire school, which is why episode 4 called The School's Secret. See, Sota wants to get to the bottom of this whole thing. He's like, wait a minute, something's not right. For one thing, I can't just be the only guy in the entire world. And 2, why am I the only one in this school? Why are there only females in this school? You know what I mean? So, in a harem, see, that's the thing about World End Harem. It's fan services, and push that aside. The storyline behind it is about the MK virus and what Sota is and what every main male character is destined to do. But the reality is Sota's goal is not what he think it is. I mean, like, he wakes up and then they lie to him saying like, "Oh, the world is your oyster. You could shuck it. You could finally be with the one you love." There's more to that, and Sota's figuring it out little by little as this episode progresses. So and with Sensei, that's the only person he wants to be with. He wants to be with Sensei. He wants to be with his Sensei. That is of all the women, that's him. Kind of like how number one is. I mean, I'm sorry. That's how Reito, the male number two, and I'm gonna get to him too. I'm gonna get to him. Anyway, so one night Natsu comes in, and she and Karen is so like, "Oh, one of the dormitories down, one of the rooms broken, so you get to spend a whole week. You get to spend a week with Karen." So, and then Karen, she's a spoiled rich girl, but her reason for spoil has a backstory, kind of like her future husband and her father died from the MK virus. So, being that she's a spoiled being that she's not a spoiled, like, not stubborn, but she has a hard time dealing with things on her own. Like, can you help me change? Can you feed me? Can you put water on me? Can you undress me? All that stuff. And then as he unchanging her, he sees a scar on the back of her butt. So it's kind of like two peas in a pod here, where, see, that's the thing. It's not just the finish, it's the symbolism on that thing. So think about it. Natsu got the scar on the back of her butt, meaning you know what that means. She's either been tortured or whipped by her father or her future husband. Yes, or was her future husband before the MK virus attack. So you get what I'm trying to say. But then that one night, they slept at the same bed, and his desire for her, it was there. So they had sex, they did it. So now I'm sorry. Sota wants to confess to Sensei about what happened. And Sota is all like, he wanted to tell her the truth, but Sensei already knew all about this from the get-go. She knew from the start that he has to mate out with everybody. And then when he talked to Karen on the roof, he figured out the truth behind this school and everything. Now Karen is like at the end saying like, okay, here's the truth. Here's the truth. The goal of the entire school is your nesting ground. Your entire school is literally the base to make out with all those women in the school and give birth to the population. And she explained more and more detail. Like, Sota was on point with the school, the sensei and Natsu, all this. But he was on point. But Karen actually like, okay, you're right about a few things. But the reality is the genes, the MK virus, impregnation, sex, all that stuff to rebirth the world. And then she told everybody to strip. And he's like, which one would you choose? This is your nesting ground. You can have sex with any other girl and look. And the thing is, these women in this class, they're okay with it. They had feelings for him. It's not like they were forced, like, okay, I gotta make up. No, they were actually falling for him, and they want to do it. They want him. Now here's what I like about this Sota and number two. They both smart when they know what's happening. It's like he wakes up, okay, he got the teacher and all, but there was more as he gets better, like happy he got his sensei, all that stuff. He's starting to understand what's going on now in the world that is all women, so he gets it. Number two, same thing. Number two, and speaking of number two, Reito, he's actually studying to find out this MK virus. While other women are rooting for him, Reito is not smashing anybody. He's actually doing the right thing. Sure, he's not smashing anybody, but he's actually doing the right thing to find the cure for the MK virus. Now, for Mira, the clone, on the other hand, She's telling her like, okay, it's your time to mate. Who you want to mate? And then the MK women, the UW saying like she got to be removed from being his assistant. But again, okay, so we're looking at three people that woke up right now. Let's look at this. You got the first guy who's horny as fuck to fuck with any woman he wants. Doesn't even care what's going on. You know, despite that he getting birth to a baby boy, okay. Despite he getting birth to a baby boy, you know, it's like he just woke up and like, okay, this is the dream. This is the dream I want to have. I'm gonna bang every woman I want. Not even concerned about, okay, what? There's got to be a point for me to smash these women. Like, there's got to be a point. Like, he's not thinking that. Like, you got this fantasy dream of yours. Everyone's fantasy dream to bang all the women. But there's a reason why this is happening. And number one guy is not thinking that. Reito, the man number two, is when he wakes up, he realizes the world is crumbling. Well, all the men died. And now he's thinking, like, something's not right. This can't be just the MK virus. It's got to be something else. So he's experimenting this as it goes along. And especially now, number three, Sota. You see what I mean? At least they're understanding the premise of this MK virus and understanding the whole women impregnation thing. So it's there now. Now that Sota understanding the truth about this, it's safe to say that Sota will, and number two, Reito, Sota and Reito are going to work together this out. As for number one, you know, I'm not saying, you know, him getting a baby boy is, you know, it's bad. I mean, congrats on him. But there's more to that. And if he doesn't figure out, he's going to end up dead. Maybe I said too soon. But still, but you guys get my point. So anyway, overall, episode 4 was really good. It's decent. I'm not saying it was hype, you know. It's Sota is now understanding the truth behind this. And the mastermind that is carrying, you know, the truth that has been revealed about the whole entire school. And like I said, we're on episode 4, and it's gonna be quick because we're on episode 4, and it's 11 episodes. It's gonna be quick. And in the way how the pacing on this is, the way how quick this show is gonna go on and on, it won't cover as much of the manga, but it's gonna skip a few to get to the highlights from the mangas. So let's see how that works. But again, episode 4 was really good. And pretty soon we're gonna see 4 and 5 if they continue this rapid pace of the show. Let's see what happens. So I look forward for next week's episode of The World's Ends Harem episode 5, and I'm sure you will.